One of the most frequent questions I receive from fans is, how do I build muscle while losing fat at the same time? Most of these questions come from teenagers or newcomers. Now, if you're familiar with the usual bulk and cut process that most fitness gurus teach, it might seem impossible to do both at once, but it's actually not. In this video, I'll be teaching you how to build muscle and lose fat simultaneously. Before we get into how to build muscle while losing fat at the same time, you should know about the most common way to gain muscle: bulking. Bulking is pretty much the exact opposite of what we're trying to achieve in this video. Bulking requires you to have a caloric surplus, which means eating way more than your body burns off in a sedentary state. As you work out your muscles while maintaining your caloric surplus and eating healthy foods with a lot of protein, the size of your muscles will slowly start to increase. But at the same time, you'll also notice your body fat percentage increases, and that is something we don't want unless you're going for that linebacker look. A lot of teenagers want that ideal cut look, usually achieved by bodybuilders by cutting the fat after a hefty bulk. But is there a way to actually not go through that whole bulking process and still increase the size of your muscles? Thankfully, there is, and it's easier for teenagers compared to every other age group. When you're a teenager going through puberty, your body is producing insane amounts of testosterone all the time. Testosterone plays just as important a role in muscle building as a bulk might play. But you can't just rely on your body to build your muscles for you. That's something you've got to do yourself, and I'll be guiding you through the whole process. If you're a newcomer to weightlifting, this is going to be easy for you. All you have to do is start lifting weights. Since your body isn't used to lifting heavy weights, your muscles will generally grow faster than even people who may be on a 1,000-calorie surplus diet. We call those virgin gains, baby. In the first 6 months of working out, your body will essentially start to freak out and will use the fat cells you already have and burn them to give your muscles more energy. It's a crazy process, but think of your body as if it's a car, and your fat cells are the reserve fuel. This also means that if you already have a lot of fat, you don't need to have a surplus at all in order to gain muscle. Your body already has all the fuel it needs to power your muscles, and all you have to do is use that fuel, lift those weights, and you'll see a massive increase in strength and muscle size, and also a reduction in weight. If you're someone who used to go to the gym, had a lot of muscle mass in the past, but have let yourself go over time, it should actually be pretty easy for you to gain all that muscle back while losing all the fat you gained. Your body is basically a machine, and once it has learned something, it's really hard for it to forget it. You'll have an easier time at the gym due to your muscle memory, and your muscles will grow back to their original size way faster than when you originally gained it. Most of you probably fall into at least one of the categories I've mentioned already, and that's the case for most people. In reality, very few people actually need to go through the whole bulking process to gain weight, and those are people who have been going to the gym religiously for years, elite athletes, and others. Regular people don't need to do that, even though most online tutorials talk to you as if you were Chris Bumstead or something. By now, you probably understand that weightlifting and training overall is the most important part of building muscle while losing fat at the same time. But simply training alone isn't going to do you any good. You need to take care of your diet as well. This doesn't mean you have to eat 3,000 calories in a single day and go on a bulk to gain muscle. Nothing like that. But it does mean you have to watch what you eat. Calculate what your basal metabolic rate is, which is essentially the amount of calories you need to eat to maintain your exact weight. And you should generally eat 200 or so calories above that rate and burn it all off at the gym. You can also increase the number of calories you eat depending on how much you're burning at the gym. This is a great to gain muscle, as you won't be putting on any extra pounds of fat, but your body will still have the surplus it needs to support your muscles. This technique is especially recommended if you're particularly skinny, with not a lot of fat reserves for your body to tap into. This doesn't mean you can munch on whatever you want, as long as it's within your caloric range. It's also important to get the right kind of calories, so put down the Twinkie. You should try to add as much protein into your diet as possible, and don't be shy about getting protein powder for that extra easy protein. Protein is the most important nutrient your body requires to build and then maintain muscle. If your surplus consists mainly of a bunch of carbs, you aren't doing your muscles any favors. However, simply working out isn't doing you any favors either. The way you work out is a lot more important. You need to make sure you focus on your technique and are doing all your exercises in a formulaic way. Focus on lifting the weights correctly more than lifting heavier weights. You can increase your weights once you've perfected whatever exercise you're doing at that weight. This will not only increase the size of your muscles exponentially, but also give you a lot more definition in your muscles. You should eventually start increasing the weight you lift as you get better with each exercise. At this point, you basically know what to do. You know how to work out and what to eat. So what's next? Well, you need to set a goal for yourself. Some of you watching this video may primarily want to lose weight while gaining muscle, while some of you might be thinner and want to simply gain muscle without gaining any fat. You need to set a goal that you're happy with, such as a 10% increase in muscle mass and a 20% decrease in body fat. Once you've set the goal, you need to sort out an entire plan that revolves around matching these goals. You should look at the workouts that have helped increase your muscle mass the most and stick to them. At the same time, you should also look at the food that you're eating and the diet that helps you out the most and stick to that. Once you reach that goal, you don't just let it go. You need to maintain what you've achieved or set a new goal. Remember, simply letting everything go after achieving your goal won't do you any favors, as you'll just be back to square one. Maintaining and setting new goals is extremely important. Make sure you do all the extra research that's necessary and follow everything I told you in this video, and you'll be gaining muscle while losing fat in no time. Always remember, anyone can gain muscle. All you have to do is put in the necessary work. Thanks for watching, guys. If you haven't already, subscribe, turn those post notifications on, and until next time, peace.